This episode is brought to you by Lone Wolf Paintball. They are an amazing online supplier and have been around since the beginning of the game as Michigan's premier paintball field and paintball supplier since 1987. They are rapidly expanding into the online retail space and supplying everything you need to be the best paintball player you can be. They have got it all. Head over to lonewolfpaintball.com and shop all of your favorite brands. And they also boast amazing customer service and will have this out to you with same-day shipping, which is amazing. It's always nice to know that your stuff is on its way immediately so you can start to use it that very next weekend of play. Check out their YouTube, Lone Wolf Paintball, and their Instagram at Lone Wolf PB, and stay up to date with all of their deals and sales. Play the Game podcast is immensely honored to have them on board, and we cannot wait for you guys to check out lonewolfpaintball.com and become a part of their community. Happy holidays, PTG family. We hope you're doing amazing out there. This episode is brought to you by HK Army, and it is time to level up your game with the newest evolution in performance. Introducing the HK Army Razer R5 marker by Planet Eclipse, the ultimate paintball gun for players who demand power, precision, and perfection. This marker isn't just designed to perform, it is engineered to dominate. With its sleek construction, lightweight feel, and lightning fast capabilities, the Razer R5 will have you outshooting the competition in style. And let's talk about style. The Razer R5 comes in 5 amazing colorways: the Stealthy Onyx, the Electrifying Amped, the Gold Standard Midas Gold, the Clean and Sharp Pure, and the Fiery Bold Scorch. No matter your style, there is a colorway for you. Do not miss your chance to own the HK Army Razer R5, the marker that's changing the game. Shop now at hkarmy.com or your favorite retailer to claim yours before they are gone. The HK Army Razer R5 is live right now. Take aim, take control, go shop at hkarmy.com.
All right, PTG Nation, my goodness, we just had one of the best episodes that have ever been on PTG. I got the chills multiple times throughout this entire show. Truly a feel-good, inspiring episode that you guys are not going to want to miss. We have none other than the legend Daniel Rudy Ruettiger from the famous and iconic movie Rudy. This episode needs no introduction. Without further ado, we're going to hop in the show.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon. Great shot by all the guys. Tyler Harmon saved that game.
He came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
Welcome, everyone, to another amazing episode of the Play the Game podcast. We are so grateful to have you here, and we have the tremendous honor, the ultimate honor, actually, of having one of the greatest sports legends of all time, a true legend, and his story has inspired millions around the world. He's the man behind one of the most iconic sports stories ever told, immortalized in the classic movie Rudy. His journey from a small-town dreamer to achieving the impossible with sheer determination, grit, and heart has made him a symbol of perseverance and belief. So without further ado, everybody, please help me welcome Mr. Daniel Rudy Ruettiger to the show. Thank you for being here, sir.
Hey, that's really cool, but you're telling me I didn't have any skill or any talent? Is that what you're saying?
Actually, the most skilled.
Listen, heart is the biggest talent anybody can have. Heart
Right.
is the biggest talent anybody can have. It's something we talk about all the time. And man, your story is so inspiring, and your heart and will and determination to achieve the things that you've achieved is something that is relatable to most. Not many people are given certain talents. I'm not 6'5". I can't play in the NBA. I love basketball, but I was never able to go that route. But you can position yourself in a way to still achieve your dreams if you have the dedication that you had. So no, your story is just, again, like Tyler said, incredibly inspiring.
Yeah, and what's interesting what Tyler said and how you're putting it together, it's how you want to contribute to something that you believe in.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the biggest, the best, or the fastest, or the smartest, but if you have an attitude of contribution, it makes a big difference. And you go in there with selflessness. You go in there to go help people become better. And if that attitude's there, not only do you win, but you get support and you get respect from your other teammates or your company, or whoever you're in with. If you come in like a know-it-all, you come in entitled, you lose the game. And you don't bring what I call cohesiveness to that team because it breaks apart because of that. But when you work as one and they get inspired by your heart, by your hard work and your work ethic, and ones who do have the talent and skill will work harder because you do. So you do have a role, believe it or not. You do have a role. And I don't understand coaches. Sometimes I don't understand teachers. Sometimes because that's what they miss.
Yeah.
They look at the talented, the skill, makes their job a lot easier, they think. But it actually makes it harder because what you're doing, you're creating divisions. You're creating an attitude of very selfish people. And that's not where you want to be. A good teacher will address each kid differently, not everybody as one, because not everybody's one.
That's right.
Absolutely.
But you can become one as a team by how you look at each other and talk to each other and act. So that skill comes from great coaches. I just heard a great interview by Marcus Freeman of Notre Dame.
Yeah. You sent
he-
that to me last night and I listened to it.
He's really the deal, isn't he?
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. I love the fact when he was interviewed after the Penn State game. You're going to be the first black coach in the NCAA national. He said, "Hey, it's not about being black. You know, it's not about being it's not about any of that. It's about each other, believing each other. It has nothing to do with your color, race, or your religion. And that's where problems become issues on a team. When I wanted to coach at one time,
Yeah.
and I got discouraged by when I was a graduate assistant at Notre. I got discouraged sitting in that coach's room and listening to the positioning of the political moves they have to make in order to get this kid or that kid next year. This kid has to play. This kid gets sick because you don't have the kid we're looking for. I said, "What? Yes, it's some skill, but this kid's not have the skill and the same talent. They're going to go with the kid that could help them get that recruit." Well, that's not fair. You know, that's
And
not fair.
also another thing that we see a lot, Rudy, and I love that you hit on it, is the selfishness and the ego is just running
Yeah, it's
rampant.
terrible. Yeah, the money,
Yeah.
you know, I watch ESPN, I get sick to my stomach. I really do because it's about politics now. It's about
Mhm.
it is truly about division. How
Mm.
good is your haircut? How good are your clothes? You know, and that's
And
what
the bling bling and the, you know,
bling bling and we get a haircut every day. Not
yeah,
everybody can afford that.
yeah.
You know, not everybody can afford your wardrobe, your fancy crap that you
Mhm.
wear. And then you criticize kids or players on the field when you were there
Yeah.
or when you weren't there. So that's called spin, the spin jock. And I don't go for that. But at
Yeah.
the same time, they have some information you could use, actually. And they give a lot of fake news on athletes and they don't really bring out, you know, very seldom do you hear about the underdog kid.
Mm.
You hear about the star
Mhm.
all the time,
Mhm.
or the star quarterback, or look at Brock Purdy. He's a great example
Oh,
of
he's amazing, and he's actually from the city that I'm in right now,
yeah,
Gilbert. He's from
yeah,
Gilbert, Arizona.
yeah. And you know Danny, you
Yeah,
met
of
Danny,
course. Your
and
son is awesome. Yeah.
well, hey, thanks, but he's uh, uh, he's interesting.
Hey, I salute him. He's working hard.
Yeah, but
For
it's it, you
for
know.
the listeners, real quick, for the listeners that don't know, Rudy's son plays paintball, and
Yeah.
that's how this whole interview got connected, which is amazing. And it seems like Rudy, you've kind of been involved in paintball as well, and you know through your son, and kind of been watching and understand the game a little bit.
I do, and you know, because of Danny got involved with paintball early on, I didn't say, God, why do you want to get so muddy? Why do you want to get hit by those balls, dude? You know? But what I found out as he grew and matured into, he wanted to be part of a team. All right. Now, whether it's paintball, hockey, played hockey at Arizona State. He's now a police officer, and he's going to be graduating from Arizona State this spring.
Attaboy.
And so he graduated from the police academy, got himself a job, and now he's going to be he's with a paintball team, with a team that seems like a brotherhood. And hockey was not a brotherhood for him. Everyone is playing, very selfishly, so they can get to the next level instead of, and that I call a coach's problem, And what I think in paintball, you're gonna have skill and talent, but if you feel like you're part of something, you can contribute. You work a little harder when you have that attitude, and that comes in school. He got excited about school when he knew he wanted to be a police officer, so he studied. And he did what he had to do in order to get there and get through the 6 months of academy, which is hard, plus go to school,
Oh, he's been working really hard. Yeah.
So my whole point to everything in this conversation with Marcus Freeman, I knew he was going to be a good coach, and here's how I knew. They were at spring practice one day, and his kid comes to see him. Now he's got 6, right? So the older kid comes on the field, and Marcus says, "Hey, where'd you get those shoes, man?" That he was wearing. He said, "The locker." So you don't get those aren't your shoes. You're not entitled to those shoes. Where's your mother at? Bring your mother down. That's when I knew this guy is a real dad and the real coach, because you have to have merit. You're not entitled to that because your dad's head football coach at Notre Dame. Dude, get home, do your work, do the chores, help your mother. I have to have my kids. I know he wants to see his kids. That's why he brings them to practice, because he works long hours. And sometimes you don't get to see the family. But he's a good family man. That's my point. Now he's great family at Notre Dame. That's the other point. You saw heart plays a big difference in a game when they have that passion for each other, and that's the secret. That's the secret sauce right there. And he understands all the dynamics of the players. How he knows each kid's got to go to class. Each kid's got to you got to have passing grades to come here. But he's very, very particular in the kids who transfer in too. Riley Leonard, the kid from Duke, great kid, outstanding human being. Comes from Duke, graduates from Duke. Now he's in his graduate work at Notre Dame, gets another year of football. But he's a man of God as well. He's a great leader, and he doesn't take anything for granted. He's a great kid. So all that's the type of kid he brings to Notre Dame. He's just not bringing the 5-star kid there.
Yeah.
And, he's bringing kids, maybe it's not the 5-star, but they'll win for you.
Well, they're going to they go above and beyond the call of duty and everything.
Because that 5-star guy will quit because the ball's not thrown to him. So he pouts and he moans and he complains and he creates that chemistry in the locker room and the team.
Yeah.
So you don't want those guys around anyhow.
No, and you said it perfectly. Being selfless, Rudy, that's the key.
It really is.
Yeah.
But that's what I liked about his interview. If you listen to it, it was a great interview.
Yes.
And I found out a lot about him. I met him once. And I was at Notre Dame helping a kid not to quit Notre Dame. And he just happened to walk by and we met. That's the only time I met him. But he met me at the time where I was mentoring a kid not to quit school. And you have those kids. You have the skill, the talent, perfect scores to get to Notre Dame. But he's failing out of Notre Dame. Why is that?
Yeah.
Well, a couple of reasons. Who are you hanging around? Do you really want to go there? Is this the place you want to be? Find out that's not where he wanted to go. His parents are pushing him to go there. So that creates problems too when parents push kids into areas of sports or school. Here's what you have to allow the kid to go where he wants to go. That's why, as a dad, you got to look at what do you really want, Danny, for an example. What do you want? Not what I want. What do you want? But here's what you need to do and do what you want. Now, paintball, like I said, I didn't like paintball. Getting dirty, all that muddy stuff. But he loves it because it helps him focus and be part of something.
Yeah.
So
The
you have
community,
to
for
allow
sure.
that to happen. It's like, I wanted to sing on Broadway. I can't sing, right? So
I bet you could have if you dedicated yourself to that. You
Yeah.
probably could have there, Rudy.
But I did sing on Broadway. Now, hey, listen, we did a one-man show. I said, hey, look, oh, you wanted to sing on Broadway, so you're going to get it whether you like it or not. So you get there in different ways. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it does.
It's like I wanted to play for the Yankees. I'm not going to play for the Yankees, but yet I get to go to Yankees Stadium. They give me first base. So you're part of Yankees.
Yeah.
Because of your legacy, because of what you stand for. That's the point.
And what you contribute, like
What
you said,
contribute.
what you
That's
contribute.
key.
Yeah,
Right.
Rudy, if you don't mind, real quick, I would like to touch on that because I
Yeah,
think
go ahead.
I think it's so powerful. Tyler and myself, we both do a lot of coaching. I work with a lot of the youth players in paintball. I coach Team USA, the U16, U19 kids, and I've learned that over the years. Sometimes you'll have players on a team that say, "Oh, so and so shouldn't be on the team because they don't have the skill, they don't have the talent."
Right.
And I look at it from a different point of view, and I say, I don't think you realize what this person actually contributes. They're doing stuff that you're not going to do, and it's necessary. And it's okay that you're not going to do these things for the team, but we need this player because of what they contribute. They're willing to do some extra things that inspire, motivate, help, assist. It's what creates a winning team. You need a bunch of different individuals. You're right. You can't have a bunch of just single 5-star type recruits that, are very similar. You need a diverse kind of culture. And being able to understand that from a young age, it can be so powerful because you can really carve your path in business, in interpersonal relationships, and just be useful. Find a way to contribute however you can, right? Whatever you're good at, lean into that. And a team will, or an organization, a company, they're going to appreciate that,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's so powerful, and it gets overlooked because players or young kids, young athletes, they want the flashy stuff. They want what looks cool. They want the highlight. But that's what they want. That's what they think is cool. But there are so many meaningful ways to contribute to an organization. And if you can find that and carve that out for yourself, you can have a lot of success.
Well, that's the coach's issue.
Yeah.
Create the culture, for an example.
Culture. Exactly.
You have to create that culture because those kids will come back 10 years from now and say, hey, thanks, coach. You really helped me later on. And that's that's paying it forward. That's how important is it to win the national championship? It's fun to win, don't get me wrong, but how important is that? We learn by losing. We don't learn by winning. We learn more in life by failure. I always say, look at Hall of Fame baseball players. They got to strike out 7 times. They got to fail 7 times in order to hit 300, right?
Yeah.
So they're failing a lot, and they're learning that. So the grit, the grind, and the perseverance comes in. And before they even get a decent salary, they got to be in the league 3 years before their salary kicks in, that they could have a decent salary. So there's a lot of merit there. But that's baseball. Football's different. They want the immediate gratification. Now they're paying kids a couple $1 million to show up. So
just be there. Yeah.
Really?
It's crazy, the money that's being thrown around.
I'm sick to my stomach. I said, where's my NIL stuff? Right.
You paved the way in a tremendous way too with this outstanding determination story of going above and beyond and making anything happen to make your dreams come true, and that paved the way for so many individuals to be playing, and still to this day I watch the movie once a
Right.
year, your story just it resonates in so many people's hearts, and that is carried on for generations.
I think because it resonates with you because you're that guy. You understand those different, both of you both understand the different levels of a culture. Because like I said, each kid you got to talk to. You can't yell at this kid, but you can yell at that kid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You can talk soft to this kid, but you can't be as
Brash. Yeah.
yeah. It's almost like you can't be that rah coach to
Mhm.
every kid. But when
Correct.
you have that team spirit, then you could be that rah guy. That
Unified.
unified. When they're unified, then you
Mhm.
can give that rah speech. Otherwise, it doesn't connect. Uh,
Yeah.
so I go back to why Marcus Freeman will be a success. You listen to his family values, listen to his values of the kids, and
Mhm.
then you look at Dabble Sweeney at Clemson, same attitude, same spirit.
Yeah.
Uh, Great guy. You walk into his university, into the Clemson arena, where the coaches go. You don't see a lot of trophies. See a lot of family pictures of the kids' families, and how important it is from the win. Yeah, they want to win. Don't get me wrong, but it's more important to develop that kid that later on in life their success. They were treated right. They were talked to right. They were raised right. Uh, they have that culture. Uh, so Dabble Sweeney's another guy that I really respect in the coaching area. Now
Yeah.
it's really hard to respect a lot of coaches because I don't know them, but
Yeah.
you win and you find out their chemistry is team, family, and when you have that together, it becomes a whole different championship.
Oh, of
There's a lot
course.
of love involved. There's a lot of commitment for each other involved. But when you see the teams yelling at each other on the sidelines, you made a mistake, man. I mean, are you kidding me? You haven't made a mistake, right? You
And
Yeah.
you
know,
think I don't know that too?
yeah, right. I know. I just messed
Yeah.
up, dude.
Yeah.
I like the coaches said, "Don't worry about it. We got the next play." And instead of you getting the kid's face like you see, I said,
Mhm.
What good is that? You
Yeah.
know, um, I'll never forget lacrosse. When I always go back because as a dad, you're not given a book to how to treat your kid with a goofy coach, right? Or a bad coach or whatever. So you really got to be sensitive to that coach and to the kid. And
Mhm.
when your kid walks off the field and he wants to succeed and he's working hard, the coach bench him because he's not doing the right play or doing the right thing. Does that mean you bench him? No, the kid's trying. Most of your guys aren't trying. They're out there trying to be the star, you know? And you bench that kid. Don't forget Danny coming off the field one day. He was really upset, really sad. I said, "What's wrong, man?" He said, "The coach made me feel bad." Of course he did, because all he wanted to do was win, and he berated Danny because he was in the right spot. Well, too bad, coach. Why do you berate your kid, the kid in front of all his teammates? That's the
Mhm.
problem. You don't do that. And
Mm.
that's why you're a bad coach. So I learned the process by watching my son grow up through that step. And then as a dad, you gotta be real sensitive. What you tell your kid. Oh, don't listen to that jerk. You gotta let him understand you're gonna go through life with people like that. Who are gonna try to.
Mm.
You gotta be strong enough and believe enough in yourself to overlook that and keep moving forward. Yeah, we're all going to make mistakes. Who hasn't made a mistake? Yeah,
Mhm.
but have common sense. Have a value in yourself, and you make better choices. Have good friends around you. Better, even on the job, hang around people who are more positive and family, and have common sense. Common sense is the key to everything, I think,
Mm.
especially with a coach as well. Uh, I have a nephew that played Major League Baseball for the Baltimore Orioles. 4 years in Double A. He's one step away, just one bat away, one hit away from Major League. Right? He's batting 288. he's hate to say it, but he's a leading base stealer, and he doesn't make it because he got caught up in the nonsense of why am I not there? Don't worry about why you're not there. What do you need to do more? You know, you're all worried about why you're not there. Who cares? Your chance will come. Are you ready for it? That's the message of the movie. You go to practice, show up, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Show up, do your job. Don't worry about whether you're going to play. Yeah, it's sad that you don't get the dress, but but if you do the work, you never know who's going to support that. It's like a teammate will give up his uniform for you, let you play, and you got your shot. You don't make the tackle because you got lucky. You made the tackle because you practice every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You practice like an All-American, and you practice like you were supposed to play. That doesn't mean you're going to play, but you got to practice like you're going to play, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's where coaching comes in. I had a great defensive line coach, Joe Yato. He treated us all the same. Every All-American I was up against, he talked to me like he talked to them, and made you stay in the game, made you go to practice. But you get a coach that say, hey, what are you doing here? Aren't you a little old to be out here? Because I was in the Navy. That coach you stayed away from. You stay away from the players that say, aren't you, why are you out here, man? Because they don't like walk-on. You stay away from those guys. Get around the guys that say, thanks for a good practice, or thanks for coming to practice. That's what keeps you going, the little moments.
Yeah.
Those little moments. It's not, it's like the classroom. Here I am at Notre Dame, and now I'm with valedictorians. I was in the bottom of my high school class, third of my class from the bottom, and now I'm with valedictorian. How that happened is because you found out what you needed to do. See, the Navy gave me confidence in myself by doing the little things. Just the little. What are the little things? First of all, the kid gets up, doesn't make his bed. I mean, how important is that for you to make his bed? Well, it's important because you know why? Gives him a sense of success.
Yeah.
Gives him a sense of habit. Gives him a sense of pride. You got pride, dude, and that's the first step of success. You go brush your teeth, get yourself ready, when you're lazy, when you look in your room, you can't find anything. Everything's disorganized. Well, how about cleaning your room, dude? I mean, that's better than you making a goal. You feel good about yourself. Don't you want to feel good about yourself? You want to feel good about yourself because you scored a touchdown? What if you don't score a touchdown? But what if you feel good every day? If you do something you don't like to do that makes you feel good, that's more important, your self-esteem. So it's a self-esteem. What the Navy did for me, it took the entitlement away, and they gave you the merit. You have to earn it.
Yeah.
It's fun. I just got the Valor Award in the Navy, right? And
Wait, recently you just got that?
yeah, just about.
Oh my
a month
God.
ago.
Wow. Congratulations. Wow.
Well,
That's
here's
amazing.
the key to that. Here, what did I do? Right? What did I do? And the guys you're looking at, I had Marcus Luttrell come up to me at the SEAL. He said, man, your movie put me back on course. I said, really? Yeah, because he was PTSD, right? And it gets your mindset right. So you contributed to that. And that's why the Navy gave you the Valor Award, because your contribution to the merit of everyone. Of your movie, what the Navy did for you. See, that's a true champion. That's how they look at it. And when you get that, you're with Rosie the Riveter, 101 years old. Rosie the Riveter, she riveted my dad's airplane, the B-17 bomber, man, when he had 22 missions. So you think about that, and you meet what they call the liberators. Only 2 of those guys left. They go into the Jewish concentration camps and liberate them. 2 left. And you get the Buffalo Soldiers, there's 3 left. And you get all the World War II veterans, there's only 30 of them left. That they brought in. And you think about, why am I here? Because you showed up every day and you fulfilled a dream. That's what you inspired. And you help guys. You never know who you're going to help, like Kobe Bryant. who played for the Los Angeles
Lakers, yeah.
Lakers. Yeah, I don't know who.
Yeah.
Lakers. Basketball confuses me, to be honest.
That's Marcelo's favorite.
When you're 7 foot,
we got Kobe right here, Rudy.
yeah, great guy. But let's go to what inspired Kobe. Go to Kobe Bryant, USC, Rudy. Listen to what he says. The movie inspired him to launch him when he was 16 years old. His dad was military and was over in Italy. Anyhow, make a long story short, he used that movie, the message he got out of that movie. He doesn't care whether it was true, whether this happened. He cared about work ethic and just get better. If I showed up and worked hard and got better, where would I be 20 years from now? I'm not going to live in regret. I'm going to be like that guy, Rudy, who showed up every day and worked hard. He wasn't any good. He didn't have any skill, but he got his moment. How many guys give up on something when their moment's right there and you give up? Like my nephew. Why are you giving up? It's not, well, he had a lesson. He listened to other losers who were the complainers. Don't worry about why you're not there. Worry about what you have to do to stay there. And maybe more batting practice, maybe more drills, maybe this, maybe that. And coaches see that and they want that type of attitude on their team. And there's good coaches look for that, just not, the home run hitter or that. Pat Murphy, who's a baseball coach for the Milwaukee Brewers now, when we were shooting a movie at Notre Dame, he just shows up at Notre Dame. He wanted to coach, period, baseball. He's from New York, and here there was an opening. So he just shows up, says, I'm your coach. The guy said, who are you? Right? He didn't leave till he got the job.
I love that.
But he built that program from a intramural to a national recognition. He brought in guys like Greg Consa, the underdogs type of that no one else would want, who Greg Consa became a 2-time world champion, now became the Milwaukee Brewers manager. And Pat was at Arizona State for 17 years coaching after Notre Dame, after he brought them to the national recognition, went to Arizona State, brought in guys like Dustin Pedroia and those guys who no one wanted to really look at, but he was a real underdog. And Pat saw his heart and skill, and he worked with that type of guy. He knew he could do it. My point is, he goes and gets fired from Arizona State because him and her, the athletic director, and her didn't get it. She was a she, he was a he, and they didn't see Pat. She didn't like the way Pat coached. Well, Pat coaches like what I just talked about. He don't coach he coaches individuals differently. And that's the way he is. He knows how to talk to the kid, communicate to the kid. Well, he ends up as a bench coach for Greg Consa at Milwaukee. When he gets fired, his former student athlete hires him as a bench coach. 17 years, over 25 years as a coach. Now he's a head manager for the Milwaukee Brewers and was named manager of the year last year. Like Greg Consa went to the Cubs, got a lot of money, got in last place. Why is that? Because he's statistics. He's not a communicator to the players. That's the difference. Stats and communication, two different. You got to have stats. Don't get me wrong, but when you're sitting there telling a guy, "What are you doing?" You got to know how to talk to that kid. Have a sense of humor with that kid. And when you understand that, some guys you can't. Sometimes you got to be, different. But Pat understood how to communicate. That's the key. And that's why he did well in the playoffs last year. So my whole point is culture.
Yeah.
When you're coaching. And that's the same way with business. Create that culture. And
Absolutely.
You chase that dollar, you're going to end up making bad choices. But when you chase culture, the money comes.
Yeah, and it's the connection, and people can feel it. They can feel the real, raw, genuine connection.
You can feel it, and you could be a fair and tough coach because, in a good way. It's like my dad. I mean, he was fair and tough, And I knew, boy, I can't mess up or I'll get whacked, Or you go to church on Sunday, you don't turn around at church with your mother there. because she'll tell you you're going to turn to stone and your ears will fall off. All this fear tactic they teach with the religion, you know.
Uh,
I was afraid to go to church sometimes because I saw a good-looking girl in the back, and I'm going to go look at her. But I'm not going to go to hell because of that. You know?
or turn to stone. Yeah.
Turn to stone.
So
I only see one ear, Rudy. You must have lost the ear because of that, you know?
I lost both ears. My mom told them. We were interesting. I had 6 brothers, 7 sisters, so I come from a large family.
God bless you.
And
Yeah.
my mother never finished high school, but she was sharp as a tack and had a lot of common sense. My dad finished high school, World War II hero, 22 missions in the B-17, great guy.
Wow.
14 kids, he raised them.
Wow.
Little league coach. She was president of the Mothers Club. So they had time for the kids. All their effort was for the kids, and it paid off later on in life, of course.
Yeah.
A lot of sacrifice. So if you're going to do it, there's a lot of sacrifice. There's a lot of, I don't know, but some parents, you know, it's funny. They go for their dreams, they think, but their dream should be their family.
Yeah.
You know, and their family is more important than that. Getting that new car, or getting that big home. Hey, you put a roof over their head, and you get more than enough, my brother. You know,
Yeah.
you got food on the table. You got a lot of love here, and you don't need the bling bling stuff. You know.
Yeah. That's right. That's right, Rudy.
Well, you can't buy love, and you can't buy support, and you can't buy respect. All these things that really lead to happiness, and you know, my opinion, that like you can't pay for it. So you know, you have to build that around you. And it sounds like, you know, your family, your parents did a great job of that, which is,
well, that's why I like the Marcus Freeman.
Yeah.
Because he talked about all of that and with his parents. One's Asian, one's black, and now you have a mix. Now, then you get these goofy ESPN people say, "Hey, you'll be the first black coach." What? It has nothing to do with that. Everyone's trying to, you know, do that little pitch in there of
politicizing things.
I'm a human being.
It
doesn't matter whether I'm black, Asian, green, blue, or you know, I got a big heart. I want my kids to win, and they're gonna win. And anyhow.
Thank you all from the bottom of our hearts for the tremendous support with the PTG show. If you are enjoying these episodes and want to help with the progress and development of this program and connect with like-minded, hungry paintball players, then head on over to ptgpodcast.com, click the orange Patreon link, and become a member of the PTG World Discord chat room. And now back to the show. It's all of us together, and that's what we're talking about here is team ball, you know, and that connectivity. And I think that he's going to do tremendous things at Notre Dame. I'm really excited to watch his journey and everything that he can accomplish over there. And definitely rooting for the squad. So can't wait to watch him play.
Yeah, it'd be a fun game to watch, Ohio State.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's going to go crazy.
There's a lot of talent on the Ohio State team.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's see what.
So, Rudy, I want to kind of dive back into the early years of you cutting your teeth with the team, and you know what motivated you to keep pushing forward when the odds were so stacked against you and you had to jump through so many different unique hurdles in order to make your dreams come true. And I know you talked about the Navy, you know, and these different things, but what drove the wheels, and who did you learn that from in the most major way to drive you through those early years and make the team and get your opportunity?
Well, first of all, you know, your faith is very important. So I'm not going to be a Bible thumping dude here, but your faith is important. So that comes first. And your family, you do it for your family, so it's bigger than you. And once you do it, are you going to quit? Because what would your dad say? You know, what would your dad want? You know, give him hope, man. Like you get when he saw Notre Dame win, you gave him hope.
Yeah.
Don't you want to do that for your dad? So there's many times you wanted to quit. You thought about your dad and your family. That's what kept you going, because you're doing it not for you but for other people, and it becomes so important. if you think about this, it makes sense because if you
Yeah.
do it for you, it's easy to quit because, hey, man, it wasn't meant for me anyhow.
No,
Right?
you're right. That's the easy road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an easy quit. The hard quit is, oh shit, my dad.
Yeah.
Because
What?
you don't want to, you do it. So when you have a dream, it's like the movie. So hard to make, so hard to go out to Hollywood. But you knew the family value was so important to give to this country and to
Yeah.
people, even this world, because the movie's international and you get the same messages because we stuck to the values of why you're doing this. Uh, making the movie was so difficult. You can't walk into Hollywood and say, "Make my movie."
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. I got a good story. So what?
There's a thousand
There's
of
a
them.
lot of good stories. But now when you tell their story through your story, then it starts making sense. The guy who approved it was a Rudy in his sense because he wanted to go to Notre Dame and he ended up at Michigan State as a walk-on. Now he's the president of Columbia Pictures. And he loved that story of a walk-on because he was a walk-on and what he had to persevere to get so it made sense to him to do that. But you don't find that very often. That's why you got to stick to it. Don't quit. Stick in there for 10 years and say, I'm going to find that guy. And
Whatever it takes.
And there's little angels that will show up in your life that will help you get to that person, not knowing he's the right person. A janitor, a hotel manager, and a mail carrier helped me get to the right people. How does that happen? You don't know who knows someone, number one, and you don't know how much influence they have on that moment in your life that you need it. And not that they know that person, but they know it's like a mail carrier. When I got stood up by the writer of Hoosiers, it was a big break for me to get that moment to sit in front of the guy who wrote Hoosiers. But it was done through a hotel manager who introduced me to his brother, who was involved in the movie Hoosiers with the writer, right? But he kind of liked the story. He kind of followed the journey and said, you should talk to my brother. He has a connection in Hollywood. I've been out to Hollywood for 9 years looking for that guy, right? He's right here, right?
Yeah.
So he connects me with the guy. I go out to California. He doesn't show up for the meeting. What do? Do you go home and say, boy, what a fool I am. This wasn't meant to be? No, you get off your butt and you go find him. And you say, I'm going to find that guy. How are you going to find that guy? You can't worry about how. Just go out and God will put an angel in front of you. All you have to do is compliment someone on what he's doing. There was a mail carrier. He was, I don't know, just smiling and whistling. Say, hey, dude, I needed that. Thanks, man. I said, really? Where are you from, man? I said, I'm from Indiana. I said, I'm from Michigan. We had a little connection there, just a little one. And we got to like each other. When people like you, they help you, right? So he told me why he's excited about passing mail out in California versus Michigan. There's snow in Michigan, bro. There's sleet, rain, man. It's cold out here. Look at the sun. It's beautiful. That's gratitude, right? It reminds me when I had gratitude. Let me tell. Let me call you right back, Jerry. I'm on Zoom with the President of the United States. I'll call you back.
Nice.
Hey, that's my partner, my cheese partner.
Oh, that's awesome.
So anyhow, anyhow, I walk out. We have that relationship, and all I did was compliment the guy. Compliments are awesome if you know how to give them with your heart. And you needed that compliment. You needed that little moment of, geez, oh wow, hold on. Jerry, Jerry, I'm on a Zoom call with the president. Can I call you back? I'm serious. You think I'm kidding? Huh? They're trying to get me to the inauguration. I'm saying no. All right? Oh, I'll call you right back. All right.
Gold.
Oh
Gold.
my God. That's so funny.
Yeah, it's fun, right?
That's it. And I've got to say this right now. You know, we've been talking a lot about the heart, and you have got one of the biggest hearts in the universe. And that is why we're having this conversation right now. That is why the door's open. That is why you've been able to be successful, because you've been living in your heart, and you've been living in a passionate space in your heart and being connected with people and caring and going above and beyond. And the fruits of that have been obviously everything that we've seen unfold in your life, and all the miracles that have happened. But it's because of that heart, man. And what you just, I mean, that was timeless moment. We got to clip that immediately.
Absolutely.
So I got to tell you this about the mail carrier.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a big moment. And you never know when this moment's going to come, right? But if your heart's right, and you connect right, and you compliment right, and you have gratitude, that's an angel that comes in your life. And you recognize that. You don't know he's that angel. Then he said, well, why are you out here, bro? That's how he talked to me. I said, hey, man. I said, this guy, I was supposed to meet. I was going to pitch him a story. Oh, you're trying to make a movie? He said, man, I hear that all the time. I said, yeah, well, what's your story? And I told him, he says, follow me. I love that story. I said, that's my story. He says, come on, I know where that guy lives. He took me right to his house and kept walking. That's how I met. Now think about this. If I would have sat in that restaurant, felt sorry for myself, saying, this is a stupid idea. Why am I out here? Another setback. You move forward. And when you move forward, what happens? A new opportunity shows up. And that was the mail carrier. Because of that, if I would have sat in that restaurant, I would never met the writer. When I knocked on his door and he says, who is it? I said, Rudy. He said, how'd you find me? I said, never mind, but you're late for lunch. And we had truly a connection there. He said, oh, I'm so sorry, man. Now he's apologizing, making excuses. Now he tells me why he doesn't want to do a movie, another sports movie. And he hates Notre Dame. So he gave me two good reasons right away. But the third one was, you do have a good story. So I hung on to that and left it at that. 2 years go by. I had a relationship with him. He liked me. I liked him. I didn't pester him about the moon. Calls me up one day out of the blue, say, I've just been commissioned to write your story.
Wow.
Well, first of all, you said you're not going to write because you hate Notre Dame. Well, they're paying me.
Yeah.
Right? So everything happens now. And because of that, if I would have sat there, that guy from Michigan State was looking for a sports movie, would never heard about the sports movie. If I would have sat on my butt, felt sorry for myself, and told the mail carrier that brought me to his house, and in turn he told the producer who called him in, yeah, this kid from Notre Dame who was a walk-on, wasn't supposed to. He said, holy cow, this guy's gonna love. Write it. That's how quick it went. But it took 10 years for those 3 minutes. You understand?
That's right. Yeah.
So a lot of time planting the seeds and being dedicated and doing the right things, and just consistently.
That's why when you're coaching kids or putting kids in, look, this is going to help you later on. Maybe you're not starting. That doesn't say you're not going to win. You are going to win. Your contribution is very important here. And when your moment comes, hey, maybe we didn't see your skill, talent, right? Maybe your heart's there and you'll overcome all that. But be patient with yourself.
Yeah.
That's it. Just be patient. You'll be fine. And when you get kids to understand that, to contribute, then it becomes a whole different ballgame.
You got to have faith. You got to have faith.
One last thing about Don, I shouldn't talk about my son like this, but
he's been playing with AZ Ambush. For everybody out there in the Arizona area, he's with AZ Ambush, so shout out to them.
So there you go. So he tells me about the kid he talked out of suicide the other night.
Oh my God.
But that's because of the heart. He has common sense. He has heart. So he recognizes that and he can talk, and that's because of the people he's around and the compassion and the empathy. So you guys are very important for that development, because he talks very highly of you, especially because tell you how you treat him, and that's important for him. See, when he was playing hockey, the coach, didn't look at his heart, more of his skill. It has nothing to do with his skill. He's out there; he can contribute, bro.
We can build the skill. The skill can be built. We can
be built. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's kind of like I always give I get a lot of Hall of Famers come up to me when I'm doing these autograph signings. It's funny. You look, the boxers come up with Tyson, Michael Vick, George Foreman. Think about Larry Holmes. They all come, their family, their sons and daughters come up to me, and the wives, and they all want to meet you because that's what they've been through.
Yeah.
They've been through that same thing. They just want to connect. It has nothing to do with that. You're no star. You're just, wow, there's Rudy. We can connect with him. It means something to him. That interview you watched I sent you when they were walking around the stadium.
Yeah.
They walk into the locker room. What's the guy say? Is this Rudy's room?
Yeah.
The impact that you made on, and that kid went to Florida, right?
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with Notre Dame. But they're all impacted by what? That contribution. That's what
work ethic, the heart. Yeah, the contribution.
Yeah. And that's why it's awesome. Look, you don't have to be the smartest guy or the sharpest tool in the shed to be somebody, or the brightest light bulb. I was always, you're not the sharpest tool in the shed. No kidding. But you know what? I got 3 honorary doctor's degree. I got a degree from Notre Dame, a degree from Holy Cross. Yeah, man, I just got the Ballot Award. So what have you done?
Yeah, and you've been working your butt off, man. You still to this very day you do.
You have those guys criticize you and me and everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I know. We hear the keyboard warriors all day. They say I'm too positive. I'm too positive and all these things, and it's like,
good.
Man, take it
let
easy.
Let them be who they are. They'll go to the bar and they're going to say, "Oh man, that guy, he's lucky." Yeah, I'm lucky because I'm not hanging around you. So
Yeah, you got to let them know.
It's fascinating how you see the winners and losers right away.
Well, what
winners talk about winning and losers talk about winners.
Yeah, absolutely. And
that's the way it goes.
I like this Coach Reed of the Kansas City Chiefs. Look how he coaches. I was with Jim McMahon doing some. I said he's at BYU, right? And guess who his right tackle is? Andy Reid. I said, how good was Andy Reid as a tackle? He said, terrible. He almost killed me. Great coach, though, right?
Yeah.
So all those things come later on. They respect these guys later on because Andy Reid's a great coach. You don't have to be a great player to be a great coach. You got to understand the culture, what makes guys tick. He understands. You see that. You ever see him yell on the sidelines? Never.
No, even when people are getting in his face too, he keeps his composure. There was a moment with Travis Kelce last season that it was probably a very pivotal moment in the team's culture and how Andy Reid responded to Kelce kind of getting in his face.
Yeah, that's a selfish player right there.
Yeah, totally. In that moment, he was at least right, and
in that moment, and he was a little bling.
Yeah,
now it's easy for those guys to get off track.
Absolutely,
of the money and the admiration they get.
Well, he's dating Taylor Swift, so he was, he's feeling some type of way.
I like his brother, man. I like his.
Jason. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a great interview. He was giving a Hall of Fame speech. His retirement speech. This is his brother, right?
Yep.
Not Travis, but
Jason.
Jason. Yeah. And he's talking about he goes back to his college days by watching the movie Rudy. So you think about that, but you never hear Travis say that. But you hear his brother say he's more down to earth. He's like his mother. He's with the good old boys. But my point is that's how teams stick together and the cohesiveness comes because of guys like that in the locker room. you know, and coaches as well. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Hey, Rudy, I want to ask you about some parallels with that tie, you know, all sports together, and then with paintball as well. So what parallels do you see between obviously paintball and football in terms of like strategy, teamwork, and just being perseverant?
Well, number one, you know, it's strategy and teamwork is important in
Oh yeah.
paintball, and having the common sense in paintball. So all that, you got to look for all that. Who has the common sense? Who's a good shooter? Who knows how to position himself? Who knows how to inspire the team? Who knows how to
Yeah.
bring the team together? Those are the parallels right there. All
Yeah.
that. It's no different than building a football team or building any team. It's communication to that guy or that kid that you have on the team. Maybe he's messing up. You don't yell at him. You don't tell him what a goofball he is. You tell him, hey, maybe you should position yourself this way. Tell them the different strategies. And they'll respect you and listen to you because it's how they respond to you as a coach. That's important. Those are all the parallels are the same. There's no
Yeah.
different. There's no different. Because I'll tell you, like I said, I don't want to get hit by that ball.
No, they're going fast.
We're going fast, and what these guys shooting out, the new guns are out. Those
Oh yeah.
boom, boom,
Yep. They get going.
they get going. So it's, but when you have a kids, that's you get the kid that you're getting or the person that you're getting on that team, the man, they want to be part of something. That's what you have. They all have a different skill level, and you got to know. Well, as a coach or as a player, you know that you guys been around. You're all stars.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, you're absolutely right, Rudy. And what we've found is this game really, almost more than any other, is saving a lot of lives and getting people out of the house and getting them connected in a community that they otherwise wouldn't have been able to find through like traditional sports. It's a very unique sport. You know, paintball's not for everybody, but I think that anybody that tries it, once they play it, they say, "Whoa, that was really fun," and then you start to become a part of a community. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are pretty awesome, both of you.
It's a good game. It's a
could
really
see
good
that.
game.
What's your educational background? Just curious.
Yeah. I've done some college, but I just started going to work once I was like 21, and thank God I did because I worked really hard.
You got a PhD, my brother.
Hey, let's go.
Life.
Yeah. You know, just been working my butt off, and then got my two beautiful children and my beautiful wife that so grateful for, and just been continuing to work with my brother right here, Marcelo, and we're paving the way.
The man, Marcelo.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Marcelo, you're a cool guy too.
Thank you.
Yes, he is.
I appreciate it. This has again been an honor. I've gotten the chills throughout this conversation probably 6 different times, which is amazing. And to answer your question, I actually ended up doing homeschool during high school because, like Tyler, turned professional at a very young age. So we were traveling for paintball, and I didn't finish. I had quite a bit going on at home. So I needed to manage a job, and I knew that paintball was going to be the career path that I chose. So I didn't end up finishing high school. However, I did still go and do a couple semesters at a junior college.
I love it.
I actually just lied on the application and said that I graduated a certain high school, and hope that doesn't incriminate me. I think statute of limitations has passed, but Rudy, though, I think you'll appreciate this story. I had an English teacher that was really aggressive. The very first day he said, look, if you don't like to speak, if you don't like public speaking, I'm going to call on you frequently. That wasn't me. I enjoyed the class. So I was always volunteering. I always got up to speak. I always wanted to contribute. Well, this one day I was having a very bad day. Stuff at home wasn't great. I was having a very bad day. So I come into class, I sit in the back of class, and I'm already thinking like, I'm 20-ish years old. I'm already thinking like, this isn't really, I don't need a degree for anything. I really appreciate education, but I'm not going to use a degree for a career. So, I'm having these thoughts, and I'm in the back of the room. I'm kind of, feeling bad for myself and sulking a little bit, and I'm not contributing that day, but the teacher keeps calling on me. He's kind of picking on me at this point, right? You could tell that I don't want to contribute. And so, you know, he finally does it a third time. And I get up, I grab my books, and I walk out of class, and I never went back. And I was just so, you know, upset with the situation. I thought it was unfair. He could tell clearly that I was, you know, not up to the task that day. You know, however, I do think education is very important. I think finding ways to learn and educate yourself, whether it's through the scholastic system,
education
information.
is important, but our education is flipped backwards.
Sure, totally.
Teaching you things you don't need to know.
Yeah, right, right.
You sound more intelligent than some PhD guys, man. You both of you, because you got the what I call life lessons, and you definitely have that ability to understand. But you're more important than some of these guys who got degrees. So I wouldn't, you know, listen. You educated yourself differently.
Absolutely.
And that's the way to do it. That's what I had to do.
Yeah.
I had to educate look, I didn't take no SAT, ACT to go to Notre Dame. I had to go to junior college. Yeah. And I didn't take the microbiology. I took a physical science course that transferred over like it was a science course. So you learn what to do in order to get to where you need to go.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you put this education on you so much. That's, you know, one thing. But if you're going to get in a position like Danny is, you need your education, dude.
Correct.
That's right. Get that pay raise. Not saying you're gonna learn more on the job than off the job, but still get that degree.
Yeah. If you
off your pay, right? But if you have you all know the common sense, and you encourage education. You encourage kids school, but it's good to go to trade school. You know,
absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
There's so many options. There really are.
So many options. Don't get stuck that you gotta go to college. You don't need to go to college. You need to get a skill. And both of you's got great skills. Look at that. You got a nice podcast going.
It's been fun.
Yeah, you guys are professional. You're intelligent. You're easy to talk to. You know.
Oh, we appreciate you, man. And the Rudy, I feel like the education, it never ends. And I know you feel the same way. And you're still on your path of becoming, you know, broadened and educating yourself. And you still to this day work harder than probably most people. And you're in your 70s and you're out there.
I'm 76, right?
Yeah.
And I go to the dog park with my dogs every morning, and I look at the old farts up there. They talk about stupid things. We're talking about, hey, I got to talk to my partner about more cheese. We got to do more cheese, right? We got to do this. So, you know, you always got to be creative.
Yeah.
You know, helping people. I could just help a guy get a movie made. I don't want any credit for it, but I helped him. So you're always here helping people, right?
Yeah.
Doing things, and it all comes back to you.
That's the mantra. What he just said: creativity, staying creative. That's it.
Got to, man.
Yeah.
You guys are smarter than you think. You use big words, mantra, all those words. Shit, I gotta look that up.
Oh damn.
You know, creating things for yourself is the essence of your entire story. And you know, Rudy, I got to say, you actually remind me so much of my father. My dad passed in 2019. He was 80 years old, though. Long, amazing life, and one of the best dads anybody could ask for. Right. But he had this unwavering optimism and genuine charisma about him that it opened up every single opportunity for him. He didn't finish high school either. He was born and raised in New York. When he was 16 years old, drove out to California to the West Coast with his older brother and just started a vertical blind business, you know, started a bunch of different businesses along his way. And it was everything that happened for him was because of who he was, you know. You talk about that story with the mailman. I mean, my dad would share millions of stories like that, where he would just get talking with somebody. We'd go to the grocery store and he would have a 30-minute conversation with somebody in the checkout line. And you're like, Dad, there's a line. We kind of got to go. You know, that's just who he was and what he enjoyed to do. And that created an, you know, unlimited amount of opportunities. Cause you're right. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know who you're going to have a positive impact on, you know? And he was like, he was just somebody that people enjoyed to be around. And from a young age, I learned, like, you want to be an enjoyable person. Don't be a dark cloud in people's lives. You're never going to have opportunity. You're don't be the dark cloud, because people are going to run away from you. They're not going to run towards you. People run towards the sun. They want the sun. They want something bright and that, warms them up. Right. People don't like being cold.
God. Yeah. That's why Danny's attracted to your culture and to who you guys are. 'Cause you give that back. And that's what kids need sometimes. That's what he needs. He needs that. Because, you're around those goofballs all the time. I had a kid show up at Notre Dame, was at a speech. His mother he's in a wheelchair, and he's a cerebral palsy kid, and can't talk, can't walk. But the movie inspired him, right? But his mother said, she showed me a video. His dream was just to go to Notre Dame and go where Rudy played. Go on the field. So he gets to Notre Dame in a wheelchair. And the jackass, they put these guards up there, these people.
Yeah.
They think they know. They give them a little power. They have no power. They think they're somebody. He gets there, and there's a whole bunch. They go on these, what they call stadium tours. And he's in charge, this one guy. He says, well, wheelchairs are not allowed on the playing field. And the kid,
not today.
No, you know what the kid did? Jumps out of his wheelchair and crawls to the 50-yard line.
Whoa.
He needs and off. He didn't let that dude stop him because he had a goal and a dream. And that, to me, tells you how many people are going to try to stop you, and you use that. Oh, well, I'm not. That kid says, hey, I'll make it my own way then. I don't need a wheelchair. And he crawled. He's the only human being that's ever crawled. And they just had the Garth Brooks concert on that same field. And they had trailers and tractors and all kinds of stuff, stages. A wheelchair, really? And the guy didn't have enough common sense to say, come on, man, that's the difference. Stay away from those dudes.
Absolutely.
They try to roadblock you every step of the way. We have that same issue making the movie. That's not saying it's a bad area. It's just bad people in the wrong spot for you, and just move through them or go around them and don't focus on them.
Stay creative.
Got to stay creative. That's key.
Yeah.
And I could tell you many stories about how we were very creative in getting things done. But when you're around positive people, you find those areas of creativeness. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it does. Yeah. And that's why, we need people like Danny in our community. We need more people getting involved in this paintball world.
Guys like you guys, more brothers,
all of us together.
You guys did a great job, but he did your family. Look at the contribution you're doing now. That's because of your dad.
That's right. And I could break down and cry if I start talking about my dad. I love him so much, man, and like everything he's done for me. And he was a military man as well. He was Army Ranger, and so I'll never stop giving my grace for my father and my mother and my brother, all my family that we came up, and we didn't have anything. Our very first house, when I was growing up, I called it the dirty house. That's what we would call that thing, the dirty house. And we worked our butts off to try to carve away in this world, and it's been through the heart. That's the big thing. And I think
100%. You guys got it, and I could see why. When Dan says you got to do this podcast for Tyler. Man.
Awesome.
Appreciate you so much, man.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Well, it's been a great podcast.
And it really has, Rudy. Thank you so much for being here. And if you don't mind, we do have a community, and they would like to ask you a couple questions.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we have a really awesome community, and they have a whole chat world, and it's called PTG World, and they're super excited that you're here. So, March, I don't know if you have.
I got one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So Blaine Tor wants to know, Rudy, what was your reaction when they finally told you they were making the movie about you, and who were you hoping would play you?
Well, it's interesting. That's a great question. I expected that to happen. So it was not really, they're going to make my movie. It's like the play. No, I expected it because I worked for it. And so it's not one of those moments that you say, you broke through the enigma. You broke through the idiots. You beat them, right? And that's your victory. Now, my dad was on the B-17 bomber, right? Torque gunner, 22 missions. I'm watching the movie Memphis Belle. Same time we were casting for the movie. Who's on it? But Sean Astin plays in the Memphis Belle as a torque gunner. That's how he was chosen.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, because he had that vulnerability to him and that cockiness to him in a good way.
Yeah.
Not he didn't irritate. He just had that lovable
fearlessness.
Fearless,
fearless. That's how I would describe you, Rudy. Just fearless. A lot of people they're so scared of being denied or turned away. That they won't ask for what they want. They won't put themselves in those positions because they're afraid of failure.
Hey,
right.
Go get no, bro.
Yeah.
How many no's
go get told no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That puts that chip on your shoulder. Come on, man. Give it to me.
I love that. I love that. Go get told no as many times as you can, because you're going to find out how to get that yes.
Well, that one yes will show up.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just came up with the best slogan: "Get your nose up," and not only like get your nose up, but then also lift your nose up. You know what I mean? Get your nose up.
Yeah,
wow.
Put that on your next sweatshirt.
Yeah, seriously.
Brilliant. Coined it. Boom.
There we go. All right, Rudy.
Oh, you guys are awesome, man.
Oh, you're the man. I got one more. This is a staple on the show. And March, I think there might be another one you might find here.
Fine.
But
we're here for you.
Okay. Your favorite food and your favorite place to eat it.
Oh my goodness. My favorite food. It's always Chinese food because it's healthy.
Oh yeah. That's the good stuff.
Yeah, and you go to Chinese restaurants, no one's ever there, so you always serve.
They're so good. I love
the
Asian food is my favorite.
It is. I love that. And so we got to eat healthier. I'm involved in a cheese company now. My partner and I, we're developing omega cheese.
Okay.
Through the cow. We feed them omega from the beginning, so it goes through their system. Out comes omega milk, that we make omega cheese. And then other things will happen from that. But that took a process. That takes time to do that. And we're at that moment. Well, also, with the technology we have, we put this, it's crazy, we cut down the methane in the barns of the milkers by this technology. And you attract iron. See, in the middle of the earth is iron. Yeah. So we have this technology where it attracts that energy, gets rid of gives it clean air, gets rid of the methane. So we're working on that too. So you always have to be innovative. Don't be afraid, And that's what we're doing. So omega is our big deal. Omega cheese, omega milk, omega curds, omega pizza, whatever. Omega whey, the protein.
Yeah.
So that's all coming. That's the stuff. I love being around farmers and innovative people and people ready to think out of the box. That's
I grew up in the Central Valley of Northern California. It's all agriculture, so I totally understand what you mean there.
Yeah, I'm speaking to the Agricultural Association in Montana here, end of the month. So I get a lot of speeches, a lot of great companies. So I'm very fortunate.
Yeah, everybody be on the lookout for that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, Rudy, my last question is from Mark Paris. He wants to know, Rudy, how do you feel about the NCAA's changes to scholarships for football that could potentially kill schools having walk-ons? Now, I'm not familiar with that. I don't know how or if it does. But,
what he's talking about, it's terrible. It's a train wreck. What they're doing to these athletes is they're cutting down. It's hurting high school scholarship kids too. They're taking transport portals. Kids, let's say he's at LSU, he's not playing. He says, I could play at Notre Dame, so he transfer in. This is just an example.
Yeah.
So that's why you see a lot of parity today with these schools, because it's money. They're paying these schools money. Ohio State's got a $40 million budget to bring kids in. They pay these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So really, what are you going to do after college and you don't make that money anymore, how are you going to earn that type of money, right?
Mhm.
It's a train wreck. It's terrible.
How, if you don't mind me asking, how does that kill walk-ons, or not kill walk-ons,
Kill
but, you know,
walk-ons
kill
because
the opportunity?
because they're getting these star athletes fight and paying them, and these transport kids who are transferring in, they don't need a walk-on now. They only allow 85 scholarships now. Something
Yeah.
like 85 players. So it's cutting that. It happened when I was at Notre Dame. They only allowed 60 guys to dress for home games at one year, and my first year was 110. So that count 50 players out. That we have it in the movie. It goes over people's head, but the rules are so stupid. You know what they should do? Give the kids a stipend. If these kids can't, some of these kids can't afford hamburgers.
Yeah.
But because they're coming from poor families, give them a stipend.
Yeah.
Then let them earn like Brock Purdy doesn't. Now for 3 years now, 2 Super Bowls and all that, and now he gets a chance to do his contract.
Mhm.
Now they're saying, well, we don't know if we want to pay him because he had a bad year.
Mhm.
Come on, man.
Crazy. Yeah.
But he brought you to 2 Super Bowls. It wasn't his fault. He lost. It was the guy who missed the ball who lost.
Yeah.
The ball to, you know what I mean? So all this stuff with walk-ons and all that, there's a lot of walk-ons who contribute big in college football and also professional sports. Just got to stick in there and keep working it.
Yeah. Love that message, man. And thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts for your time on the show.
Awesome.
We cannot wait to check out the cheese too. I'm going to be looking into this. I'm going to find this
me too.
cheese.
Go to Harmony Cheese. You'll see us.
Okay. There we
What's
go.
it called? What's the name?
Harmony, HARMONY, cheese.com.
Wouldn't you know it?
Wouldn't you know it? Harmony. We have,
Yeah.
That's one of Tyler's nicknames. Tyler Harmon. Harmony.
There you go.
That's
Hey, you
me.
guys are Marcel. You guys are good, man. I love it.
And we love you
you
too,
as well.
Rudy. Thank you
Yeah.
so
All
much
right.
for your time.
pleasure.
And I look forward to seeing your boy out at the paintball field. We're going to be doing
take care
some
of that
training.
boy. He's a
Yep.
good one,
I will.
right.
Absolutely.
brother.
God bless you.
Awesome, Rudy.
You bet.
See you,
Have a
bud.
great one.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening. If you enjoyed the show, please head over to ptgpaintball.com, click the orange Patreon link in the corner, and support the show. We greatly appreciate it. We have tiers as low as $1.99 a month. That is nothing, guys, and it'll give you access to the Discord, where you get access to the players chat and get to mingle with the entire PTG community. We have tons of different pros in there. Tyler and myself are very active, and it's an amazing way to support the show. We also have amazing other tiers. If you want to be one of the best, want to be a GOAT, sign up for the GOAT tier. It's the greatest way to support us, and each month we do a private live stream show, one-on-one kind of thing, to where it's just the GOATs, and Tyler and myself will bring in some special guests every now and then, but you get to ask us questions in real time, live on the air, and you get lots of inside juicy news that we don't share on the show. So, as always, we will see you guys very soon.